everybody. Hi, it's Les, aka Sister Slayer here with the Bitten Apple TV. Hello, all Apple biters and Apple TVs, and Happy New Year. We're so happy to see you. Let me bring in our co-host, of course, the most of the most, Ralph, the Written Writ Ralph. And Ralph, I'm gonna find you. Here you are. Hey!
Written Writ Ralph talking to you straight from my set of the Written Writ on Apple Bites, because we're about to take a bite out of the apple.
All right. Hey, I like that one. Is that going to be the one that you're going to use overall for this year?
It might be, because it sounds good. If it pops back into my mouth, then we gotta go. that's how it happened with the Written Writ. I kept doing things in the beginning of the show, and then one day that whole phrase came out, and I was like, "Oh, I like that." And then that was the phrase that kept happening.
Oh, so you like that one? Is okay? I like that too. I think that's actually pretty decent. So, how was your New Year?
It was pretty decent. A lot of craziness. I lost my computer. It's completely dead, and I'm working from my daughter's laptop.
What? So
Yep.
Wait a minute. How did that happen?
It finally gave out. It's a very old computer. I've had it since 2011, I think it is. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it finally, I think the hard drive finally gave out.
It just gave out on it. So, you know, they've got some really good deals going on. So, I mean, I think it's time to invest in a new computer, especially now that
we have, and see which direction we're going to go. I've actually heard from a couple of friends that might want to help me out, so we'll see.
Oh, that's nice. Yes, we need help. Ralph needs help. I mean, we can't do these shows without, you know, some kind of a device like a computer or whatever. So we definitely need that from you. So I know that you are actually doing something, by the way, everybody, I want to kind of apologize for being like 15 minutes late because we were having some technical difficulties, unfortunately. Unlike Ralph, I did get a new computer for Christmas, and unfortunately, I'm having some software issues. And so, you know, when you download a certain software for other uses, it just completely commandeers your other devices, and so I can't download it WinZip. So I'm going to get rid of it because
if you'd have told me about WinZip, I would have told you don't do it. That thing took the whole computer, and I was like, what the heck?
Yeah, it takes over your whole computer. I mean, it commandeers everything. And don't get me wrong, I think that it's a really great, software, mm-hmm. but it should allow you to have the capability of controlling your own stuff. And it has completely taken over when it comes to it's me sending myself documents and everything. Because a lot of times what we're doing in these presentations, I have huge documents that I have to send to myself. So I used it. You know, I didn't want to just send it in Google, which I'm thinking now that's probably what I'm going to have to do. And so I have this large document that I wanted to, a zip file that I wanted to put it in. And unfortunately, they just have like completely taken over. So we might have some little glitches along the way today as a result of this WinZip thing. But anyway, what are you doing? I know that you are doing something with our friend Phil Russert regarding Star Wars. I remember you were saying something like that.
Because I know he invited you along too, and I know a while back what happened was that he was like, dude, you know, I want to discuss Star Wars. And I was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to sit down, I'm going to watch all the movies again. And
sorry about that.
No, don't worry about it. I want to break down the writing of it and maybe figure out if I can let you guys know which direction it went, why it went wrong, or if maybe we're being too critical about it.
Are you talking about the latest, like from the episodes, the first 3 episodes are technically
I've already watched
the last 3 episodes.
I've already watched 4, 5, and 6, but that's because, you know, they're just my favorites. So I'm gonna watch 1, 2, and 3, and then I'm gonna watch the more recent movies. And now I have to watch Mandalorian because there's a lot of stuff happening there. And even though I haven't seen the show, I know too much about it. And everybody's talking about that season finale. So
yeah, it is a wonderful season finale. That's all I gotta say. I can't express to you how much we enjoyed it, and it's hard to talk to you about it because you have not actually seen it. So it's going to be kind of hard. I don't know how you can have that conversation with Phil without having
Well,
seen The Mandalorian.
I still have time. I've only finished the original trilogy. Now I'm going to start with the prequels, and then after that, I'm going to do the 6 whatever they are at the end, and then I'm going to hit Mandalorian, and I'm going to try to hit all the Star Wars universe, and then have a full discussion about Star Wars and the writing, and if we're being too hypercritical about it, or if I can explain why certain things work, certain things don't work. Because, I believe in Joseph Campbell's The Hero's Journey, and George Lucas actually used The Hero's Journey to create the Star Wars. So I want to see if he stayed true to form to it.
Yeah, absolutely. And Phil says hello, by the way. We're just putting into the broadcast. Hey, Phil.
Hey, Phil.
So the interesting thing about The Mandalorian, the interesting thing about it without giving any information away, is that they are building new canon and lore. And this is a wonderful thing because now they have actually taken the franchise that we all love so very much, and they have made fixes to it. And it's so good that it's probably made me forget the last 3 episodes.
I've actually heard that a couple of times from a couple of people.
Yes. I forgave it all. I forgave it all just because of The Mandalorian, and just because of the season closer. This last one, which you have not seen, which I highly recommend. And please, audience, do not give anything away to Raphael since he has not seen it. It made up for everything. Everything.
It's sad to tell you that I talk to people a lot of times, and they're like always like, Ralph, I get all these spoilers ahead of time because I'm a researcher, and you just run into things when you probably shouldn't be running into things. And for me not to have a movie spoiled, I have to avoid the internet. And I know exactly what's going on. I know what happened at the ending of Mandalorian. I may not know all the big bits, but I have an idea of what you're talking about. And I have to admit, it sounds amazing that they actually did what they did. I don't know if I'm going to spoil it for some of you people out there. Maybe some of you have all seen it. Well, it's been a while now. Maybe you're saying that I shouldn't spoil, but I'm just going to leave it at that. And, we'll discuss it when we're on Phil's show.
Yeah, I definitely think that you need to definitely do that. I mean, all I could say is that it is worth it.
Phil just spoiled it. He used to just spoil it. He said, I can't believe they had Vader come back from the dead.
He also said he's just kidding. That's what he said. So, but Phil, so terrible. I'm just going to say that it was what you are going to see is going to make up for everything.
I have to say that I'm really looking forward to seeing Osaka. I always forget. I always mess up her name. Ahsoka. There you go.
Ahsoka, yes.
And how our friend played it, because she's a great actress.
Oh, she did an amazing job. They couldn't have picked a better person to play her than her. One thing I do know that people have had some issue with her playing that role is because knowing that she is the badass that she is, Ahsoka is the badass that she is, some of the people have been basically saying that they felt that she should have done more training, combat training for that role. And I do know that they are doing a show based specifically on Ahsoka, but there's one person that I have the utmost confidence in that will probably get up to speed on whatever she needs to do for that role, and that's Rosario Dawson.
Yeah,
so don't count her out.
She's done it before, and she's done other action stuff, and she's very good at it. And I think that she'll get into it, especially now that it's her own show. That part of the whole thing's gonna be a lot of training. So.
Yeah, I agree. That definitely is what it's gonna be is a lot of training for her on her behalf. The thing is that they were saying that when they first saw it, and people are going to be critics no matter what.
Oh,
she was fighting in the scene, and I'm not going to be able to give that much content away, but she was fighting in the scene of somebody who we know is the daughter of a well-known martial artist who also does martial art herself. So you could definitely see the comparison in how they did the scene, and you didn't get to see the other character actually just do this, be able to operate in the martial arts style that she is well known for. So it kind of was a deflated scene when it came to the fight scene, because you could definitely see the difference in the two, as far as the fact that that Rosario did not have any martial arts training, and the other person did. Even in the beginning of their,
I'm good.
Did she do? Oh.
She did better than him. I am good, because
anything is better than that. Anything.
I was like, dude.
Anything, and I mean anything is better than that. Anything. That just put a bad taste in my mouth. I have to tell you that, I don't want to go into that show, because that's going down a rabbit hole. Literally, that's going down a rabbit hole. But that was just the worst. It was so disappointing to any of us who are martial arts fans to see what we know, what is written about this character, and to see that representation on film. And they just could have hired anybody else to do that. There are plenty of martial artists out there.
Yeah.
There are plenty of martial artists out there that could have slayed that role.
Yep.
Literally slayed that role. And why they chose to do this is just beyond me.
Well, at least they could have had him do more training, at least. At least.
I don't even honestly, I'm gonna tell you right now, Rob, I don't think that would have helped.
I have to admit that, like I was saying before, like I've done my share of martial arts, and as a novice as I am, I was kind of stunned at how bad his forms were.
It was just bad. This is what I'm saying to you. Anybody else could have played that role and done it well. Anybody could have played that role and done it better than that. And that's all you need to know, is that anybody else could have done a better job. And there are plenty of people out there that are martial artists that could have used the work and could have done this very well.
Yep.
It was, I don't know. I mean, no disrespect to the actor himself. I'm just saying it was just terrible quality.
Well, at least they're going
to
Shang-Chi, the Master of Kung Fu. Have you heard of it?
Not yet. No, I have not heard of it.
Oh my God. Yeah, the cast for that movie is amazing. If I had this here, I'll let you know, but it's actually martial artists. It's actually looking good. And I know Marvel wants to release it soon, so we'll see what happens. I know they finished filming recently.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay, so this is very interesting. I feel a little bit. Well, you know what? I feel a little bit redeemed now that we are doing something that kind of supports that, what we know as that kind of a martial arts type of scenario. I feel a little redeemed there. That's all I gotta say. But we know that somebody else could have done that just a heck of a lot better.
Oh, definitely.
We do know that. So anyway, let's get on, because we have talked about it. I'm just like, I'm really floored that you have not seen,
Mandalorian. Yeah, a lot of people
Mandalorian.
do the same thing.
But I want to wish everybody a happy New Year, 2021. We're hoping that this is a better year with now the vaccination that's coming out and everything. We're hoping that we're going to see everybody in the con soon. I do personally feel that it's going to take a while. Don't kill me, y'all, for saying this, but I just don't feel like it's going to be in the next 6 months or anything like this. It's going to be another year before we're back into action again.
Yeah,
unfortunately. But at least we know that we've got something that's going to help combat. It's going to help. We're hoping that it'll help. Yeah. So just with that being said, and us talking about Star Wars and stuff like that, and of course we can't talk about the Mandalorian because Ralph hasn't seen it, unfortunately. And baby Grogu, which I have to tell you, my husband, I adore him. I love him. I got a baby Grogu for Christmas.
Oh my God.
You would have thought I was 8 years old again. I'm telling you, this little baby Grogu does everything. He coos, he talks, and he does the Force. He actually does the Force. So he actually extends his little hand, and there's a sound that comes out, and he closes his eyes and he does the Force.
That's amazing. But it's a good thing too, because they were supposed to release him last year during Christmas, but they decided to delay it so they can do a better job.
Mm-hmm.
And it sounds to me like they did a better job, or that the time they took was actually better.
Yeah. It was. Well, I have to tell you, it's not life size. He's actually very little. He's tiny, but for anybody that's a fan, it's very worth it to have this. This is the first edition of it. And, I could have been like, our friend Hash and kept it in its little container and everything.
Well, you know how Hash is.
Yeah. But I wouldn't about to say I had to bring that bad boy out. I was like, oh, no. So
I've always been the same way with my toys. I want to play with my toys. I don't want to leave them in their boxes. And
exactly.
People get all weird with me, like, oh my God, Ralph, I can pull the toy out of the box. I'm like, it's toy.
Yes, exactly. But I pulled it out of the box. I'm not one of these collectors. I am somebody who likes to enjoy my stuff. So, it is what it is. I pulled it out of the box, and oh well. Sorry about that. So sorry to say that, fans, but I pulled it out of the box. I'm happy to say that I am, I partook of it, and I enjoyed every bit of it. So let's go on and let's talk about, we do have a guest, and we're going to sit here and talk about this forever. Let me just give you a little bit of a background on our first guest that we have today. I'm so excited. So his name is Russ Keach. This is my first time meeting Russ or Russell. He's a full-time graphic designer with dreams of becoming a professional illustrator. He does fan art illustration is a big part of his free time, and his primary work is digital work, but he does do some hand-drawn pieces. He started Paw-Pins about 2 years ago with his fiance.
So cute.
Yeah, and he wanted to help by combining animals with illustrations and creativity. He currently has over 40 different characters with new ones each month. So he is producing these each month. He's coming out with these. So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's introduce our first guest, Mr. Russell Keach. And he is from Game of TOONS. Hey, how are you?
Game of TOONS!
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining us today. And thanks for, being patient with all the delay that we were having. But anyway, thank you so much. So tell us a little bit about how you started, with what you were doing.
Okay. Well, I started with the fan art illustrations. It was I don't even know at this point, maybe 6 years ago. I used to draw when I was younger. I kind of stopped, and then I kind of got back into it. My brother, who is an amazing artist, kind of like pushed me and it's like, oh, do this, do that. And I started getting back into it. Then I went back to school, did the digital stuff, and then kind of just, I was like, I kind of want to just draw characters and see where it goes, and kind of just grew and grew, and kind of like, I started doing work with a local convention, and I was like, hey, you mind if I grab a table and see if I can sell anything? People started buying it, and kind of sparked the interest even more, and kind of just went for it.
And one of the things that we were both excited about is your Paw-Pins.
Oh yeah.
So we were like, oh my gosh, the most adorable. I have to say, I mean, I don't know who knew that you, as a guy, would even want to do something like that. But these things are so adorable.
Yeah,
we love this.
Oh, you got them all. Nice.
Yeah.
It's honestly, it's one of I don't know why I gravitate towards the the cute stuff, but I do, and it's just I'm gonna draw what I like to draw. I'm not gonna, so if I like to draw cute stuff, I'm gonna draw cute stuff, and I love doing animals. I love making the little characters, so it's just a lot of fun.
Oh my gosh, it is so adorable. When I saw this, I mean, usually so that my audience knows exactly, I get this information before, we have our guests actually send me information beforehand. And I literally sat here and cooed over those little things. I was like, oh, look at those eyes. Look at the, the eyes capture everything.
You're not the only one that does, because Lou from Lou's Lobby, every time he finds Russ, he buys another little piece.
Yeah.
He buys another little paw pin.
Oh,
this
yeah.
This is not even all of them, right? This is just some of them that you to feature. The eyes, you captured their little sweet eyes so amazingly.
Oh, thank you.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah, we have, I think it's about, I think we're up to number 44 now, or something like that, 44, 45, somewhere around there, with more coming. We have them all scheduled out.
Oh my goodness, just adorable, just adorable.
Thank you.
I know you have to have a cat somewhere in there.
Yeah, so if you go, I didn't supply the picture, but we have a couple cats. But the very first one that we launched was a cat. It was Luigi, who is actually based on my cat. Which if he pops his head in, I'll put him in front of the camera for you. But
oh my gosh, I love you now, Russ. You got cats, so that's that. Oh my gosh, so that look that the cat usually gives when the cat is like, wanting something, how can you resist it? Honestly, that's the first thing I thought about when I saw those eyes.
He has so many treats; it's not even funny. It's yeah.
Listen, they rule the house. You don't rule the house.
They do.
Oh, it's not my house. It's not.
And yes, and it's completely okay. But, oh my gosh, those things are just adorable. I absolutely, I really, really love this, and so I definitely have to engage and get something like that. Just
they're just amazing.
I just if I did bring one with me, the actual pin.
We gotta pull you up. We gotta pull you up so we can see this all together. So I want to.
There we go.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so they got the little story.
Oh.
Yeah, so this is
so cute. Love it.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness. So you're Catman. So this explains now the whole sensitivity thing. Not that dog people aren't sensitive, but I can see that you're in touch with that inner sensitivity that most cats people have. It's something else, underlying it and everything.
Right.
Part of what you do, you also do something called your bloops.
BLOOPS, yes.
Okay, so I know. And that Gwen, look at that Gwen. Oh my God, just adorable.
No, thank you.
I love Spider-Man eyes, so I'm a big fan.
The Mandalorian one with little baby Grogu.
Oh yeah.
Oh goodness.
I'm still so that one, it's funny because that one, I make those into pins as well. I don't have one actually readily available, but those I have pins, and I did make the Mando Baby Grogu pin set, and I was very excited to get it into the shows and have people see it. And I was only able to attend one show with it until the whole stuff went on, and now we have no shows for the time being. So,
oh my goodness,
can't wait to get back into it with them.
That I know, right? Ralph, see, you don't know what you're missing. Honestly, I'm telling you. You think this one is cute? You think that little baby Grogu is cute? He captured him very well.
What
I love about this is the round shape of their heads.
Oh, yeah.
So what kind of, is that just your drawing style, or because there's something to be said about the complete round shape? This is what I think makes them a lot more appealing. The round shaped head.
Thank you. Yeah, it's with these. It was kind of. So I actually kind of went through a couple different iterations of this. I was trying to, my goal was I wanted to kind of make this stylized character piece to make into like stickers. That was kind of like my main goal, was to make a little stylized and something that was maybe not seen around or not too similar. So
Mm-hmm.
I did a couple of different iterations, and I found that I kind of based everything on circles for the most part. So the head circle, body circle, arms or circle. The only thing that's really kind of oblong are the legs. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and they seem to catch on. I printed out a few different versions, showed them to different people to see which ones they preferred, and they everyone kind of leaned towards this style.
Oh gosh, those are so adorable.
He has a
You
lot
got
of
a lot of
fans.
fans out there. Yeah, a lot of fans out there saying hi. Game of Tunes. They actually love. They love
everybody.
So I have to tell you that this is like also. I really think that this is extremely appealing too. I don't know what it is. It's just about the drawing style, but I think there's something to be said about just like the perfect shape of the head or the perfect just how they look. They're so like adorable. They're just adorable. Oh my goodness. Now, what you said that your fiance helps you with a lot of this. Does she help you with this, and in what capacity does she help you?
So the well, as far as like the Game of Tunes stuff is pretty much that's all me. She'll kind of have input on maybe some characters here and there, and she definitely helps me out with the shows. Like when I go to the table, she's there constantly with me, so it's a huge help. As far as Paw-Pins, that's a joint venture where we sit down, we decide what kind of animals we want to draw. I design the character. She actually designs the little story. Each one has a little story associated with it. So she does the story, and I do the character, and we mesh them together, and then we join, come up with the names.
Oh, okay. So, well, hey, she's an active participant.
Yes,
I think that's amazing, and there's nothing more nothing more better than a supportive partner.
Oh, yeah.
When it comes to your creativity, there's a lot to be said about that, because she could just she could have been that kind of girlfriend that was like, "Oh, why are you drawing all this little, cartoons and kid stuff?" And just completely written you off. Why are you wasting your time with this? Yes, exactly.
No, I agree.
She's full-fledged in, so I love her already too.
Yeah, I thank her for that constantly, because I do appreciate it.
That's like, let's look at some of the other stuff that you've done. So one of my favorite ones that I did come across, and I actually had to put this one up first, so that our audience could see it.
There we go.
Your Boba. And yes, it's awesome.
No, thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
I absolutely love this one.
No, thank you so much.
And by the way, Ralph, since you are not watching The Mandalorian, you're missing a big spoiler here with this Boba. So that's all I'm going to say. And I can't even talk about it, darn it, because he hasn't.
Why don't we, Ralph, just go away for a few minutes so we can talk about The Mandalorian, please.
I keep telling you guys, I know way too much, and more than I'm supposed to know. I appreciate the fact that you're not trying to spoil it to me.
Yeah.
But it spoiled to me a long time ago.
Yeah, it's kind of hard though to actually get into the excitement around why I love this photo so much. Thank you. If you've been under a rock somewhere, then this is Boba Fett. He is part of the Star Wars franchise, and this is actually the what we thought was his demise on the planet of Tatooine, and so. Geez, I can't get into it any more than that. I just don't understand if you haven't been living in this century why you don't even know this storyline. But Ralph, you do know this storyline at least.
Oh, I know the storyline, yeah.
Yeah, you know this storyline at
least.
So
he survived anyway, so I was one of those fans who was like, he survived. I'm always, my thing is always, you don't see a body, they're not dead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with you, and that's the truth, because when I did see this episode of Star Wars, I did not think that he had gone to. I just didn't feel, based on the character himself, that was his demise. That was the end of it. It was just easy, So definitely, definitely. But Ralph, I can't just explain to you.
Now I'll throw some Star Wars stuff out there. The Mace Windu, we didn't see him die either. And there's a rumor.
There's rumors.
And there is a rumor, and there is some truth to that rumor, because understand the Mandalorian now has basically opened up everything, and you're going to start seeing new things, storylines that we didn't know. these characters were introduced into Star Wars. We only knew them as being interesting, but nobody knew their story. Nobody knew where they came from, how they became, Mace Windu being one of the most formidable Jedis in the Star Wars franchise, and just completely, his demise was just like so anticlimactic. But then again, it was also those movies. So now we're going to see.
It was the same thing when I saw Mace in that scene, and they threw him out the window. I was like, they threw him out the window. He's alive.
He's still alive.
Oh,
yeah. You just can't kill off the only 3 Black people in the Star Wars franchise.
Well, they treat Mace better than they treated what's his name? The stormtrooper.
Oh, Finn?
Yeah, there you go. They treated Mace way better than they treated Finn.
Yeah, well, that's another thing. I'm a huge fan of John Boyega's, so I'm not going to say anything about how they did his character, but let's just say that this is a time for redemption, and we're about to see it. So hopefully we'll see something better. But let's just talk about Pinky and the Berry. This is my show.
Nice.
I love this. And I'm sorry, I was like, I love this. I totally I'm so excited to see this. And you know what I really love about this too, outside of the fact that you captured it so well, is the color. It's very brilliant.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it was visually done, so I can get like those nice bright colors in there.
Yeah. The animation style. It almost looks like it's right from the show.
Yeah, it does.
It followed it pretty close. Yeah. It's sometimes like when you do the animated characters, it's difficult to put your own spin on it. I try. Sometimes they're just so stylized or so recognizable. It's kind of difficult to put your own little spin on them.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I really, really, really like this.
Oh, thank you.
Unbelievable. Let's look at some of the other stuff that you've created.
Oh, that was great.
Hey, Ralph.
It's like cute and menacing at the same time.
Exactly. How could you not love that face? Can you imagine? Can you imagine when he was a little boy?
Oh, God.
If he asked for a Pepsi or a Coke and his mom said no.
You look so good.
Now that's a story. That's great.
Yes, exactly. You have a little story about that. Yeah, give me Coke, Mom, with a little bitty voice.
Oh, that's funny.
But also, Ralph, there is talk, and also Russ, there's talk that we are going to find a little bit about Darth Maul too.
Ooh. It makes sense because he was active during that time. I did see in Rebels when they had his final fight with Obi-Wan, and that was just amazing.
Mm-hmm. I totally love this though. I love the slash in the back of the color of the lightsaber.
Right. Oh, thank you.
That's just very creative. I really love that.
Oh, thank you.
Just really just awesome.
Yes.
Let's see what else we have.
Yeah.
Oh,
that is too cute.
I know who can't feel nostalgic about this. Which I heard that he's going to be doing a new one. By the way,
I heard that too. Yeah. It should be good. Yeah, this one was in particular. It took a while, but like a while back, I did a whole thing on Instagram, just asking what people want to see me draw, and this was one of them, which I was like, oh, that would be pretty fun. Because sometimes I don't think of characters, like that would maybe jump out and bite me in the face. I just I'm like, oh, Indiana Jones. I've never really thought about that. I did one a while back, but I was very excited for this one.
Oh my goodness, I can't. I tell you, this is adorable. I love it. Let me see what we have next, and then I actually want to show some footage of you creating some of these. Oh. I love this.
Thank you.
I just have the color is just so brilliant. Yeah, it pops.
No, thank you. Yeah. I try to like going through that. So one of the things that I try to embrace when I'm especially doing the digital is those bright colors. I've actually, it's kind of funny because I've gotten multiple comments when I show people work like the pieces that I do. I love the backgrounds, and I'm like, am I doing something wrong?
No, you're doing something right.
No, you're doing something very right. You're doing something very right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just gorgeous. It really is. I wanted to show the audience some of how you create some of these. So let's look at this with Boba Fett.
Sure.
One.
Oh yeah, I like when that one came together.
So you create it this way. You get it. You put it in here, and you.
Yes, this is all done on the iPad. Actually, this one.
Nice.
Really?
Yes. Yeah.
How do you have some of this interesting? So how is your functionality on that? I mean, obviously good, but it seems like, you know.
It takes there's always a little bit of a learning curve with anything, with all these different programs. When I started, it was a lot of Illustrator and Photoshop, Adobe on my PC, which is fine. It works. I got the tablet, but I've always wanted that kind of the translation, like where you have like the Apple Pencil for say, like where you're holding a pencil and you can kind of draw directly onto it. So I got the iPad and started playing around with it. And at first wasn't great, but you know, as you start exploring, playing around with it, it definitely, I love it so much more.
Oh my gosh. I mean, so it's a little bit easier now that you're doing it. So obviously,
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really, how long does it usually take you to create these?
It really depends. It's a couple hours usually. I mean, I've done pieces where, like I believe I had like a bumblebee where there's all the little intricate little pieces and wires that you kind of want to get some of that detail in there. So that one took a bit longer. Where like this Boba Fett one may have been like maybe a 3 hour, 2 to 3 hours, something like that. Possibly 4. I don't recall, but yeah, I don't think that.
I've been watching Instagram. I like the fact that you've been putting them up on Instagram and showing the process at the same time. You know, you have the finished bit, and then you see the animation or the drawings come in. I think it was a good idea.
No, thank you. Yeah, I honestly, that's kind of inspired just by it because I follow other artists, and I always love to see the process. And just because it kind of actually just kind of unlocks ideas like, oh, I never thought of maybe doing it that way. And I know it's only 30 seconds that you see, you know, when you post it up there, but it's something where you can kind of, if you know what you're looking at, you can kind of pull things out.
Right.
But yeah, it still looks good. I mean, I still think that it's such a creative technique, and the fact that you're doing it on, you know, I mean, the thing is that you could create it at such a pace because you could take your iPad with you everywhere you go. Create, you know, there's not going to be a problem creating this kind of stuff.
I've gotten so many done on lunch breaks.
So how many do you create in a week?
It honestly, it really depends. I usually, it depends how inspired I'm feeling, and like if there's like an active, like a challenge, because I like to kind of focus on those, like June Toon, excuse me, June Toon, they have like a different prompt every month. So I during the summer, I'm busting out a lot of pieces where, you know, you get to like the holidays, you're kind of busy with, you know, family stuff and shopping. And so I do like maybe one or two a week.
Now, do you do commission type of stuff? Like if somebody just has an idea, do you do that?
Yes, I don't do it often, but I am open to it and I will do it. Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So that means yes. Okay. That one that you would do a commission piece.
Yes.
Why don't you do commission as often as you would normally do it?
Honestly, because I kind of like to have the control of what I actually draw.
That's what I thought.
That's really it. It's like I've had a couple people, they like come up to me like, oh, can you put my face on this body? And I'm like, yeah, I can, but I don't want to, you know. So I'm not, when something like that happens, like I'm not as inspired to really do it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I like to have a little bit more control of what I'm actually drawing.
I get that. I get that. So I mean, I totally get that. So it's not too out of the ordinary. And let's look at some other pieces that you have too. I just wanted to just give me 1 second. Working on this.
Well, you're doing that. Me and Russ have been working on a little thing together, you know, where we did a written challenge where I wrote something and he drew something from that, and he drew something for me and I wrote something from that, and we've been working on it pretty well, and it's coming along pretty good. I'm actually working on a second little story bit for it, and he's already been inspired to do another scene from that whole thing. So let's see where this goes.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's gonna be on the written Ralph.
Oh yeah.
Obviously, the reveal of that.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
I can't wait to see that.
Yeah.
Oh, this is
Marvin looks fantastic.
Yes, exactly. Totally loving this.
No, thank you. Yeah, this one was a fun one. This one's a fan favorite, I guess would be the term.
It makes sense. You can see why.
All of us love this. Everybody loves this. I think, this brings back a lot of nostalgia for a lot of us. So
yeah.
This is definitely nothing new. We really love that. I wanted to I want to show one more of your creations.
Oh, sure.
And how you put everything together. So let's see if we can do this. Paw-Pins. What?
I was saying, I know you like a lot, Leslie. You don't have to put them back up.
Yeah, really, right? I do love them a lot. I love all of these. Okay, let's look at Indiana Jones.
Cool.
Amazing.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I like how you start off with a huge blur, and as you work, it starts to look more and more defined.
Yeah.
With this crisp piece, it's just amazing.
No, yeah, it's
when do you not to interrupt you and everything, but how do you come up with finalizing like the color? Like you finally say, okay, this is the color that I want, or this is the color that's going to work, or it's the one that's the most effective.
It's really it's a lot of by eye. I usually have a reference picture. You saw with the Boba Fett, I had it actually in the piece for color reference. I've since started using a separate program, so it's not jamming up my actual view. But I'll base it off the by eye off the actual piece, and then sometimes like things won't really mesh up or it'll blur together. So one of the techniques that I do a lot is I'll if I have like a lot of different little pieces that I need to color in, it's similar colors, I'll shift the color very slightly just to make it stand out a little bit. So it might not be completely accurate to the original costume, but it stands out a little bit better in the piece.
It does.
Yeah, I think it's very, it's quite effective.
Oh wow. Great. Oh my God. See Popeye.
Yeah, that's great.
You captured the soul of the cartoon.
Definitely did, and the color of the cartoon. I can remember when it was. It's just perfect.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, that one was a mix up of different references too, because there's apparently a new Popeye and an old Popeye, and I kind of bunched them together.
Oh, what? Really? There's such a thing? Wait a minute. What is the old Popeye? I don't understand.
Like the original Popeye, and then there was like a new version that I was finding references for. Like I guess they made a new cartoon. I guess I don't really know, but yeah.
Oh, the old one that came out like in the early 1940s Popeye, as opposed to the one that came out when we were growing up.
Right. Yeah, I think there was a newer one too, though. There was because there was one that I was not familiar with, and I was just like, all right,
some kind of remake. I'm not sure when it was, but I remember that they were trying to bring Popeye back.
Okay, yeah, that might have been what I found.
I don't know if you can modernize Popeye. I think Popeye, as a character, as alone, he's just pretty much I don't think that would have fit in a modern day setting.
No.
Having some, like a CTAR like him, I just don't see that unless he's like, on a Somalian ship or something like that.
You have to be completely reimagined.
Definitely. I just don't see that happening with him. They don't build characters like that, or characters like that don't actually exist any longer.
No.
Let's just say. Let's be honest, it just doesn't. And then one of the pieces that I did see that you did was a piece from the character from Up.
Yep.
Which just is really, really good.
No, thank you.
Look at him with his little walker.
I love the blue eyes.
Good.
Oh, yeah.
The blue eyes just make it stand out.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was one of the instances with the different colors because he's a lot of brown, so you got to kind of shift the colors to make the things separate a little bit.
Oh gosh!
Yeah, you see the eyes stand out completely, and you figure they would be lost, and then the sky was amazing with him in the forefront.
Thank you.
Very, very good. So, where can we reach you? What are you going to be doing lately? I mean, I know that everybody is not at cons and stuff like that, but where can we reach you outside of your social media handles and stuff like that? So you do have Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram. It's at Game of Toons. That's probably the best thing. I'm very active on there.
He's very active. He's constantly putting stuff up there. It's amazing stuff, and it's always like, it actually showcases how he's doing the process. So you want to be on his Instagram.
Please, come join me. It's great. I've been doing a lot of stuff this month. I got some new things in the works. So hopefully this year I'm trying to make 2021 the year of new projects, new things. So so hopefully that works out. But yeah, Game of Toons on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. If anyone's interested in the Paw-Pins, it's actually at Paw-Pins Pins. So that at Paw-Pins Pins. That's on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook.
That's cute and catchy. At Paw-Pins.
Yeah.
At Paw-Pins Pins. At Paw-Pins Pins.
Yes.
I like that too. How can you that's a very catchy. You definitely get
that. We had to come up with something, because unfortunately Paw-Pins is used by someone. So.
Oh wow! Oh wow!
Yeah,
that happens. So we got to do that. Okay, so we figure that out.
I think because Paw-Pin is just great.
Yeah, so that's and then I'm just kind of out there. Like I said, Instagram's probably the best. That's where I'm kind of on. I interact. I respond to messages because I actually get them as opposed to Facebook, which I honestly don't get notified all the time. So.
Yeah. I think that happens. Facebook could be extremely overwhelming. It's not so contained, as Instagram would be. So I get it.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you are welcome to stay with us as we bring on our next guest, because I believe that you all have actually, he's a huge fan of yours, obviously. So I would love to have you stay on if you like to, if you have the time.
Absolutely, yeah.
All right, let's bring in our next guest. Oh, you all know this person. We've had this person on here before. There's no. I do want to. I should do an introduction. I should, because for some people that have not, don't know him, we actually have had him on the show before. But it is one of our favorite people, one of our biggest fans. He always supports us.
Oh, definitely.
He completely supports us. And he is a clay maker. He creates things out of clay. Without further ado, let's bring in one of our fans and one of our favorite people, Shadowrabbit, the clay guy.
Shadowrabbit!
Happy New Year, everybody.
Listen,
I missed all your smiling faces.
You've got that podcast voice on today.
I'm working on it. Thank you. When you come on here with pros like this, I don't want to, left in the dust or something.
Oh no! You definitely are not going to be left in the dust. You're up there, in anybody that comes on here, of course, we definitely, you know, would say that they are of a caliber, especially of a.
I know you don't need to pander to the most beautiful people in the world. But honestly, I love all you guys, and I miss you so much.
Oh, we love you too. We miss you. We miss everybody at the cons. Hopefully, you know, we'll be back to normal soon.
Yeah.
You know, it's just been so. I think that we thrive as people who go to these cons. We thrive on the interaction. It is really nice to have in-person appreciation wherever you go, where somebody comes here, looks at your piece, has a conversation about it. You're in an element with people that are literally family.
Yeah.
And that's all I can say, because it's a unique group of people that come to these cons, that go to these cons, that purchase at cons, that participate, patronize it. It's a family like no other. And we miss all of that bonding. I mean, this going across, you know, the airways is great, but it's not the same as actually having somebody physically in your presence. So, yeah, you know how it is.
Family.
Yeah, totally.
Cons, you know, we always see Shadowrabbit at all the cons. He's become a fixture of our trailers because, you know, he has those faces that I just have to put up there. See there.
Yeah, definitely. So, Shadowrabbit, you're here for a special reason.
I'll step in.
You know what? No, wait a minute. I have to say something. So I wasn't supposed to be privy of this reveal, but of course, because I was setting up the presentation, I got to see my, you know,
That's the thing.
I couldn't actually really know. This is the thing. I couldn't do it like this. I couldn't do it together like that.
I was trying to. So it's been a year. I was like, okay, I'm gonna get them next month. But Ralph figured it's probably time.
It was like a year ago, and we were supposed to reveal it at
the date almost.
What was it?
At Pete's, the indie comic show. Indie.
It was at show in the bar.
At the bar.
Indie art show.
Indie art show. I'm sorry, man. My brain has gone a little bit to mush.
So, you know, we were going to reveal it at Indie Art Show. It was going to be your Christmas presents. And stuff happened. And
2020 was going to be our year.
Later.
Yeah. It's going to be everybody's year.
So we had Shadowrabbit. We commissioned, Cadman and I commissioned Shadowrabbit to do a piece of all the Appletinis. And we were supposed to do a reveal last week, but my computer died. And that whole thing fell apart. Wow, just like my light went out. And now what we're gonna do here is we're gonna reveal 3 of the pieces, do like a sneak peek of what's gonna happen in hopefully a week. We'll reveal the rest of the pieces on Written Writ Live at 5.
There's a little appetizer, an amuse-bouche. So yes, as Ralph and Cadna said, man, I was working in secret to get the entire Apple crew sculpted with avatars representing things they care about, you know, their personality likes. So yeah, very sneakily we were trying to amass a bit of info about everybody, and I'm gonna reveal Ralph, Les, and Cadma today, if that's okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
Well,
I'm so excited. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, I'm going to start off with my man first because, you know.
Oh my God, he looks great. I had the same issue, Leslie. Since I was doing the show, I ended up seeing my piece before I was supposed to see it.
And
yeah, let me pull you up. Let me pull you up.
He's the Dread Pyre. He's Indigo Montoya.
So you can see it. Oh, you're the pirate. I thought it was a Star Wars character.
Oh, it is. It's a mixture of a bunch of things. I can tell. And I know Cadma had a talk with him, and I can see all the influences. Yeah. But
wait a minute.
I am Enigno Montoya. You killed my father.
Right. You killed my family. Let me do the solo layout so that we can see
pure
it
heart
close
and a
up. So we
truer.
see it close up.
Okay.
So let's pull it up.
I am Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
It looks great. Oh my God, I love it.
He looks fantastic, man. I am so happy with him.
I know. I
So good.
I was so excited to make these for you guys. Honestly, it started off humble. We were gonna make Cadma and Ralph and yourself, and maybe one or two others. And it's gotten a little carried away. I miss you guys a lot, I guess.
Which means you're gonna add more stuff to it. Not only is he gonna have a sword, not only is he gonna have a sword, he's gonna have a book in one hand. He's gonna add
the baby Yoda? Leslie, you see the baby Yoda?
Oh, wait a minute. I have to get for this one.
You'll be talking about Star Wars for an hour with me.
Oh my gosh. Let me just bring you up on this one. I have to see this. Oh,
look how cute he is.
Amazing.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I get to hug him.
Oh, I can just eat him up. He's so cute. Oh my goodness. I love it. I love it. That's adorable. That's adorable. Wow.
Now I want to see a real butt kicker. Here is my my next offering.
Oh, she looks so badass.
Okay, so let me just pull this up. Let me pull this up. So that's me, ladies and gentlemen, as Commander Shepard.
Yep.
If you don't know anything about Commander Shepard is from Mass Effect.
True gangster.
I was so excited when I saw this that I almost shed a little tear because I was like, when did he know? When did he find out that I love this game so much?
I would never give up my sources. And as much as I appreciate the cut of their jib, or
hey, wait, and you even got like you got my 3 earrings like on the side too. Like I have 3 earrings on one side. You just hooked it up. You hooked it up.
Shadowrabbit is amazing. I really think more people should do more commissions with him.
Yes, I agree. I totally agree. Oh God, I love it. When I saw that Shadowrabbit, when I saw that N7 on her chest, that's all I gotta say. I can't stop smiling. I can't stop smiling.
Because it was a lot of planning and a lot of secrets.
Yeah, it was. There's a good month or so of back and forth on everybody. It was a lot of fun.
Oh my goodness. I totally love it. I cannot wait to see this one. Now we have to reveal, of course, Cadmus. And this is not news to
which was the first one that was made.
She loves, yes, which was the first one that was made. Who she loves and who she idolizes. So there's just nothing. That's all I gotta say is we're gonna pull this one up. And this is Cadmus Harley Quinn.
Nice.
It's funny, Leslie, because it's based on one of Dez's designs. Like if you remember from when she was on the show, this is the design that she made for Cadma.
Yep, I remember that. That. Really
so I was
good.
thinking that would have been the perfect thing to do for Cadma was to have her, because she just got that piece from Dez, and I was like, wait a minute, what if she had a figure of the piece? It would be great.
Well, she does. It's just it's out there somewhere.
What's really funny is that you've actually captured that red lipstick that she wears.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That red lipstick that the cat, not Harley Quinn. I'm talking about Cadma. Yeah, totally. Just outstanding. Just outstanding.
Well, thank you guys. It brings me a lot of joy to make these. It really is an honor getting to do this for everybody. I say that, but I really do mean it. It makes me happy getting to do this, and I can't thank this community enough for embracing me and my weirdness, and even helping me continue to fall deeper down the rabbit hole.
Well, the only reason why we embrace you because we're like-minded. honestly.
I know.
Yeah. To be all, like I said, this is a very unique community, and we're very supportive of one another. Yes, there is competition. Don't get me wrong, there isn't, but there is a lot of love here.
And only rising tides,
Yeah, exactly. And I think that all of us are, feeling the results of COVID. Just feeling the impact of it on everything, and this is in our pockets and everything like this. So I cannot express it enough that here at the Bitten Apple, and if you do watch us, if you are a fan, please support our artists. Please support our people who create things. Support Russ, support Lewis. Go and buy their stuff. The world does not end because we can't go to a con. But this is their life's blood. These people create from their heart, and go to their websites, go support them, commission them for things, buy their content, give it as gifts. They're unique gifts, for that matter. Something like you've never done, and it's something that has been created specifically for you, or it's an original. That's all I can say. It's not anything. You're not buying anybody's recreated anything. You're buying the original stuff here. So
definitely, and both these gentlemen work very well. I had a lot of fun working with Russ on my Dranix.
Yeah, yes.
Russ made a piece for me. I should have put it up there, but I completely forgot.
I meant to actually grab it to show it off too, but I didn't know if you wanted to this early, so
I didn't mind. But when we do the written writ, we'll show it too. But he actually created because when I first started off, my Tumblr page was Dranix, which is me. I decided that I wanted something that was me. So I took dragons and phoenixes and put them together and created the Dranix. And then Russ was able to put that whole thing together for me.
That sounds like the Python bird to me.
It's very similar, but this thing is much, much cuter.
Oh, yeah. Anything is cuter than that. I don't know. You all know what the Python bird is?
No.
No, ma'am.
So yes, because Ralph knows. Okay, so I from my hometown, I grew up I actually was born in a small town called Alton, Illinois, that has all of these bluffs. It was Indian territory for a very long time. A lot of Native American people lived there, and they had these bluffs where they buried, their dead and stuff like that. And then the town started developing in the 1800s, and people that settlers were there didn't care about that kind of stuff. But before they reached there, when Lewis and Clark went down the Mississippi River, when Lafayette went down the Mississippi River, the Native Americans that lived there told them of this creature called the Python bird that was killed. It was a cryptid that was killed by the Native Americans there, that they used to actually sacrifice maidens to it. And it is the combination, literally, of a dragon, a bird, and maybe a lion or something. But anyway, this thing was so iconic that the Native Americans drew it on the face of the bluffs to make people remember that this creature once was there and that it was defeated. And they say that when it was defeated by a young native whose love interest was being sacrificed to the Python bird. And so he poisoned some arrows, and he actually was able to find the sweet spot on this creature because it was made of all these scales that nobody could actually penetrate. When he killed it, it fell into the Mississippi River, and they believe that this is one of the reasons why the Mississippi River has that red tinge to it. So, but it literally is crazy. They believe, and I do know that Laclede or Lewis and Clark actually, one of their party actually saw this thing when it was alive. The unique thing about it is that the cliffs there in Alton have these huge caves that people have actually gone into and never came out of. So there's something there. It's just really a weird feeling. That's all I'm going to say. But that's what that reminds me of. A combination of a phoenix and a dragon. Python. It's spelled Piasa. So I'm assuming that's the Native American name as a Pyasa or Pyasa bird. Yeah.
All right. Just curious about it when we look that up.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, it's a unique story.
It's an amazing story.
Yeah. The the interesting thing about it is that what the Native Americans drew on the cliff, of course, it faded because, they didn't have the kind of the colors that we did. I'm sure all of the colors that they used were organic. So they kept putting, they put different structures there in place of that. I remember one year it was made out of metal and nobody in our town liked it because it was just so ugly. It was just this big old metal recreation. But they went in and somebody commissioned and they actually recreated it again. They drew it on the cliff. So it is there right now when you go down the bluff or what they call the River Road on the bluffs of Alton and Grafton and all that area, which is gorgeous territory and country, you all, if you ever get an opportunity to. My hometown is very unique. It's one of the most haunted cities in the United States. And then on top of that, it has this creepy cryptid there. So I digress, but I'd love to see that. Really, yeah. So
Leslie, to add on to the whole community and the feeling of supporting each other and helping each other out. What me and Shadowrabbit did was I was working on the piece for Russ, because he gave me 2 drawings on something that he was like, "Oh, Ralph, look, this is what we're going to work with. You see what you can write with this," and it ended up being one story with the 2 pieces. And Shadowrabbit, can you show Russ our friend?
Oh shit! Oh, that's awesome!
Let me just put this.
Oh, amazing!
Oh, wow!
So cool.
And I love the little double character. And I love writing mischief, and this guy is just pure mischief. And of course, here is
we need a protagonist.
Oh my goodness!
And the Jewel Hunter and our little mischievous devil person here are at 2 sides of the coin because the Jewel Hunter has found a jewel that our little devil wants, and he will stop at nothing to get it.
Oh my god, this is so cool!
Again, we were hoping to surprise you with it.
You totally did. I was
a little while ago.
That is pretty awesome. That is so cool. No, thank you.
Yeah.
We was hoping to surprise you at one of the shows, and
yeah. Now we're just like, hey, it's all good. It's up on the interweb.
So cool. No, thank you. That is awesome.
Oh man, it was an honor, man. And yeah, Game of Toons is ridiculous, and I love all his work as well. Obviously.
Let's show the audience you're actually creating some of the stuff that you created. So let's look at Shadowrabbit. Let's look at how you created Ruff. Let's see.
Oh, that might just be it.
I think that's just showcasing it. Yeah.
Yeah. Now I'm trying to record me making stuff a little bit better. I figure that's probably something I ought to put some effort into. But
I don't know if you saw it, Leslie, but he created this promo that is just amazing.
Yeah, well, I do have that promo, I think. So I think I'm going to show that promo real quick.
Yeah, I was like amazed. I'm like, dude, man, you got all professional on us.
I moonlight. I took a small oath to get off the computers for as long as I could, but it pulled me back in.
So I didn't bring it but Shadowrabbit Clay Eye.
It'll say something like, "Hi, I'm Lewis." And Shadowrabbit Clay Guy.
Here we go.
It's just amazing to watch him do this. And it's so funny because you sit there and you go, wait a minute, this takes a long time to do.
How long does it usually take you?
Hey man, I'm not on the clock. I believe in mercenary pricing to everything. You get it done and sit in the sun. I work super quick, man. That OCD, and ADD and whatever else I never got properly diagnosed with.
ABC.
Yeah, there's a lot of acronyms, I'm sure, but I like to work fast, man. I get in the zone and I pump it out.
That's amazing.
Yeah, anyone who's seen me at the cons, I tell people, give me 15 minutes and I make a mini. Obviously, I get carried away and spend hours, days, weeks working on something no one else will ever notice. Like now the eye isn't right. Like, no one's gonna notice.
Oh my goodness, that's so amazing.
Hugbird.
So you put
There's our boy.
You have like wire in, but you put a wire in there, right? So it's a flexible type of.
Yes, ma'am. So these ones are rigid. The I've been using. I'm always experimenting with different materials, but I don't like to paint. So whatever I'm doing, I like to work with something that's pre-colored. So I've been doing a lot of Fimo, Sculpey, stuff like that. But now I've moved. I'm working mostly in epoxy sculpt by Aves and other epoxies because they get really hard. You got about an hour work time, and you can self-color them. Like with everything, I'm sure I'm always waiting for the next thing to reveal itself about the materials I'm using, especially when I'm pushing the envelope. But so far, I've been having a lot of success with this, and I'm really hoping to continue. I mean, the little guys I love, the stuff I love making the most are the minis. I make them live at the cons, and I can make my little monsters or venoms or whatever someone wants. If they come up to me and say, I want me, my kid, Batman, their dog, just give me a photo in 15 minutes and we'll make it. But that's, it's kind of like going back to the kid in me. My whole life I've just had a little bit of clay in my pocket and making little minis during school or really anywheres. So yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm blown away to see that other people can get into what I'm doing here. Other than kids, but I mean, I love when kids come up and want to make stuff. I got my own kids. And nothing make me happier than if they want to come up and make little things with their dad.
Yeah, I love that. The Bruce Lee was awesome, by the way. Oh,
thank you. Yeah, so I feel like yes, ma'am.
Where I know that we've had you on here before and everything like that, and we are almost at the end of our hour. So where can we find you right now? Instagram and all other social media.
Yes, ma'am. The best place to get me is on Instagram, Shadowrabbit Clay Guy. I do have a website, shadowrabbitart.com. And if that doesn't work, just put my signal up in the sky and I will try to be there.
Oh, yay! Ralph, you did show that last time. Let me just bring you up so that everybody can see that. Let me show you, bring you up personally for this one. Hold on.
I'm really proud of my little Hugbird here. And I love how Shadowrabbit got really creative, added the magnets so we can have.
He's got a sword.
I'm in it for him. Oh, I found this little sword now.
I was like, ooh, I don't remember adding that. I like it.
I love the nunchucks. I like how, again, I love how Shadowrabbit gets creative. I know he's done a couple pieces where he has had lights to them. And it's just amazing to watch him keep improving his craft. And, of course, I'm working on the Shadowrabbit. I mean, I did the Shadowrabbit story, but I'm also working on the Hugbird story, which I'm trying to get to Kickstarter by this year at least.
Which I am super excited about.
Wow. I love that.
Yeah, I'm really happy with it. Like I said, I think more people should commission stuff from Shadowrabbit because I like to say that he likes to make your dreams come true.
Yep. Well, I'm definitely going to commission him for something coming up soon. I will be talking to you. I think it would be really neat.
And now I know I can sculpt your whole crew,
Yeah, exactly. And what I have is, I can't say what it is right now, but I think it's going to be like, we'll do a reveal on that one too. That'll be sometime before April or in April. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for us to depart. Unfortunately, we had a really wonderful time. We want to thank our guests, Russ Keach from Game of Toons and Shadowrabbit Clay Guy. Once again, please like, subscribe, go and support both of them. Purchase their art. this is a labor of love for them. So understand that you're going to get the best of them by purchasing their art. And where can we find you? So Ralph, you do have something that's coming up. Let's do a real quick roundtable of where we can find you coming up if you're going to be on any other streaming networks or anything like that. Ralph, you go first.
Well, as always, one of the reasons I loved having both of them on the show today was because I have something coming up with Lou for the written writ, and I have something coming up with Russ for the written writ. Oh, and just to showcase me that
started.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I can't wait to talk about what we created for Russ, and so that you guys can hear the story that I wrote for him. I'm working on the second story, so we should be live soonish. I know the next week we'll be live with Shadowrabbit to showcase the rest of the Apple Teenies, and you will not want to miss that at all. But I have to say that you guys really do need to get yourself some stuff from Russ at Game of Toons because it's fantastic. And you like cute stuff and you like pins, and I know I like both pins and cute stuff. It's just amazing to see what he has and how his mind gets all this cuteness happening. And of course, my main man down there, Shadowrabbit, he is just amazing at these commissions. He makes your dreams come true.
And Russ, where are we going to find you next?
So nothing scheduled at the moment. Like Ralph said, we got the written writ coming up sometime in the near future for our joint project. Right now, best place is I'm on Instagram, just posting pretty much almost daily. So that if you want to see some new stuff, that's probably the best place at Game of Toons on Instagram, or at Paw-Pins Pins if you're interested in the little animals.
And how about you, Shadowrabbit?
Like you said, the Written Writ Challenge and Written Writ, I can't wait to be on there. I've been popping in and out of a couple different YouTube shows, Pressable Defects, Spine Ticks, all those guys, Sparks and everyone in that crew. And I've been checking out Friday nights. Bunny Mischief has a really awesome show where they've got people come on and they make toys and paint and everything. So yeah, like I said, man, last year, well, I didn't say it, but I don't have to. Last year sucked.
Yeah.
But the silver lining was getting to connect with people who probably wouldn't have. So you know, just I can't wait to get back to the cons, see everybody, everyone who's kept in the loop. You know, love y'all, miss y'all, Angel, Fat Guys, everybody. You know.
Now, and I have to say, if there is anything you said a silver lining about this, is the fact that we were able to reach more people via streaming than we probably have ever had. So we really appreciate all of you, all your support. You know, it is very tough for all of us, but I could say that I think that it has made us a lot more creative in a sense, and we're all coming up, you know, with new stuff. We're coming up with new stuff and we're doing stuff. So you can also find me. I'm going to be back here later on today at 5 o'clock with Into the Fry Zone, where I have conversations about music with my dad. Sunday night, I'm representing the Bitten Apple for This Week in Pop Culture with the Evo Comics. And Wednesday night, I'm producing a show called Indigenous Peoples Media with Elder J. Winter Nightwolf. And then on Friday nights, I do a show with my production company, Cliff Dye Productions. We call it the Tinkling Tea, where we talk about everything weird, wonderful, and supernatural that's in the news and coming out. So with that being said, we wish you a very happy Saturday. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. We will be back here next week at 1:30 Eastern Standard Time. I'm sorry, 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Please forgive me. 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And we can't wait to see you. Thank you all once again for being on the show. And take care. And we'll see you next week.